like I say, it's really where we started like I said, at the Mirages Dam, I think we started to encounter some radioactive material and some other stuff. Like at the Mirages Dam is where a lot of things change, or just one more project just before the Mirages Dam. Things start to change. Like we first discover radiation or something like that, or they first discover radiation, but we don't really know what it is exactly, other than it makes a few people sick, and we start noticing something about it. Like I think the one of the smelting machines starts making people sick, and we're like, huh, it's making people sick that get around it. So we put up a perimeter. It's like you cannot go near that smelter, and so like I say, some people get sick and they actually maybe die or whatever. They get really sick, and we start looking into it, and we move it away. And immediately, as soon as one of the smelters starts getting problems, we start noticing people are getting sick around it. We're like, wait, what? And so we move everyone away, and we keep everyone away from it. Like within within quiet, like we put it in a section. And I think we even build a wall around it because the smelter is actually making people sick, and we don't know why. Anyway, I think some radioactive material or uranium was actually building up on the bottom. There's this stuff or something like that. Like at the really high temperatures, we were getting a little bit of uranium buildup or something like that on the bottom. And it's where the Mirages Dam is where we also start encountering radiation and uranium because like I said, uranium is a very heavy particle. It sails to the bottom. But it's not very much that we're getting, but we're getting a little bit of uranium residue on the very bottom of of these containers. So the workers working around the containers start getting a little sick or something like that. It's something weird like that, like where we start noticing a sickness that starts creeping in around the thing. But then there's a lot of opium use and a lot of open needle use too. So it's like, well, is it the needles? What is it? But then they finally pin it down. Like I say, we do our research and we look at who was where and who got sick. And like I said, very quickly, my team is very good. And we're like, okay, well, these people all work around the smelter all day long. And we noticed that prolonged, there's a couple people that are always around the smelter. Like they stand right next to the smelter all day long. And we noticed that those people are the ones that get sick. But only like 5 or 10 of them actually got sick. Like only a few people got sick. And it was only if they stood, it was only the ones that stayed there all day long, or at least like for 8-hour periods. So it's like, oh, okay, so it's that object. And that's what the problem is. Anyway, apparently some uranium or something, there's some buildup happening on the very bottom of the smelting machine, of the smelter. When all those things, like a couple particle, or something like that, where the smelter was actually making people sick. So it's like, oh, okay. So we move everyone back from there, and with like 50 feet or 100 feet or 200 feet until there's no effects at all, until the people are fine. And like I said, that's where we start noticing, like, that kind of tastes a little metallic. And it's like, oh, okay. Like I said, there's also a lot of moonshine. Yeah, I just stand near this smelter all day long, and we don't really do much. Anyway, and so there's like some uranium buildup or something like that in the that's happening inside these smelter things. So where they're actually dangerous, and you can't really go in it or something like that. Where they're radioactive by the time we're done or something like that. Anyway, yeah, that's where we start encountering uranium is the Marages Dam. So like I say, like it's a really good story. I mean, anyway, the Star of Bethlehem, which is actually me, Lucifer, Jesus, it's the Star of Bethlehem. It's like, I am Lucifer. Anyway, yeah, so. So yeah, because it was my idea to get it up to really hot temperatures. Because I'm like, well, we do it in the sun all the time. That's what we do in the sun. I was like, the sun, or the star, the star. The star, the big fusion reactor in the center of the galaxy. Like that's what happens on that. Is that we get it up to 5 million degrees. When you get up to 5 million degrees, whoo, things really start to change. So, the hotter you can possibly get matter, the better. You start getting some really cool things at really high temperatures. Like fusion. And I keep telling them, I keep saying, well, you got to get it hotter. You got to get it hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, as hot as you can possibly get it. So, anyway, so they get it hotter and hotter and like I say, and then they start seeing some really cool materials, some really cool minerals, because like particles, like I say, particle reactions, particles at low temperatures, they don't really do anything. They're already combined. It's done. But when you get it up to 1,000,000 degrees or 100,000 degrees or whatever, that's when particles start rearranging into new ways. Because everyone's like, well, how do you get these exotic particles? It's like heat. You need heat. And so they do that. And yeah, it's so like, yeah, anyway. Yeah. So, like I say.